Joe Abdallah,
Here.
Greg Kava,
Here.
Vicky Salon, Stephanie Kolnick, Angela Macharulo, Alex McNaughton,
Here.
Justin Ongley here, Jen Pody, Jane Sargent, Pete Tagley, Mary Weber.
Here.
And Christine, waiting, should I just? Oops.
Yeah, I'll move that we go into executive session to discuss labor negotiations, contracts, and personnel matters.
Second.
Aye.
Say the last part, just, all in favor? We're going to invite in Dr. Rodriguez, Superintendent via Zoom, and, Nicole Grant, Director of Finance and Operations. So, correct me if I'm wrong, please, but we're going to call action on the executive session to consider and if appropriate, ratify the nurses union agreement for July 1st, 2024 through July 30th, 2025. Craig?
I move that we, I move that we ratify and approve the nurses union agreement of July 1, 24 to June 30, 27, as presented to the meeting.
Can I have a second? Discussion? All in favor? Anyone opposed? Abstain? Great, moving on. Thank you. Okay, so the consent agenda, the minutes of the Board of Ed meeting for July 22nd, 2024. Does anybody have anything to take off?
I do.
Okay.
Like to. I put them away from our executive session. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'd like to take the July 22nd, 2024 meeting minutes off of the consent agenda. I'd like to make a modification. In the election of officers, it states that Chairman Klava declined the nomination for chairperson as he will be retiring from the board within a year when his term is up, but thank the board members for their nomination. I think that's out of context and it doesn't accurately describe it. I'd like to strike the words as he will be retiring from the board within a year when his term is up. And but, comma, but. So I'd like to take out from as he through comma, but. I'd like to omit that from the record. It's too confusing.
Okay. So we just have to bring this back for the next meeting, is that right?
No, we can take a vote on to approve it as submitted.
So can I have a motion to approve? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstain? Great, thanks, Greg.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I guess I'm next with my board report, my little cheat sheet. Okay, it's hard to believe that summer is coming to an end. So sad. I hope everyone had a lovely summer, albeit very hot and wet. We have a lot of work ahead of us this school year, and I look forward to working together. Convocation is this Wednesday. Breakfast starts at 7:30, and the convocation begins at 8 a.m. I hope you all know that you're welcomed and invited to attend. It's a wonderful opportunity to welcome back everyone and to you have 12 members to the family. So that's this Wednesday. Over the summer, I met with the 3 first selectmen to introduce myself as the new chair. We had great conversation, and I'm encouraged by their support. So that was wonderful. Lori and I are working on the board retreat, which is scheduled for September 21st, Saturday morning. We're going to have Tom Mooney joining us to review basic board rules and responsibilities. We're going to go over some scenarios that Tom Mooney has put together. We will discuss the superintendent search and start thinking about the 3 elementary schools. You will receive an agenda prior to the retreat with all looking forward to planning that. And I also just want to bring to everyone's attention that there are 4 new agri-science meetings added to the committee meeting schedule. The committee has been notified. Mary, you received the 4 additions, and the revised calendar should be included in. Lori is up next.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Hoping you are having a good end to the summer. We're feeling fully prepared for our opening and looking forward to a great new year. I want to thank all of my administrative team and my central office staff for their efforts and their hard work throughout the summer, both in preparing their buildings, many new schedules, their programs, but also the hiring and filling many positions. As we typically do, we posted all the bus routes on our website, which we promised parents would be up by Friday, and they were. And families, as you know, also received a welcome back letter from me. In the letter, I will say that I did highlight the cell phone policy, as we are going to make an effort across the district to ensure instruction remains free from distraction. And all staff are aware, so this can be upheld consistently, and I think that's the key. We hired a company who spent this weekend providing a deep cleaning of all the areas of our barn, which should become an annual event. Pictures sent to me over the weekend show some great work on the part of the company, and this will, as I mentioned to you earlier, will be a starting point for maintenance throughout the year with very defined protocols that will exist. Our new teacher orientation was held today, and we're thrilled with the level of quality of our new teachers and staff. And I want to recognize our principals and key staff who volunteered their time on many hiring committees and took time to observe our candidates through demo lessons so they could make thoughtful decisions. And all of our new staff will be introduced at convocation, but we're really, really happy. I think we have a really strong team opening this year. And as I reported a while ago at a previous board meeting, we had received a conditional approval of our diversity and equity plan. We do have a few tweaks to make before final resubmission in October. And Carrie and I will be handling that and updating you at some point in the near future. And then finally, in personnel, we had some new appointments. Seraphim Flaherty, kindergarten teacher at Washington Primary School, which is a one-year position. And we had a retirement resignation, Bridget Snyder, paraprofessional at Chapag, which was effective July 31. Other than that, I look forward to a really exciting new year, and hoping to have a really inspiring convocation for all of our staff and leaders. And that's all I have tonight.
Yes, I had an elaborate report written out and I left it on my desk. As I can remember, there are just a couple of things I'd like to discuss. One is, as you probably are all aware, we've updated our pension plan. Nicole oversaw that, and it was well overdue. I think most of us were in diapers back when it was last done. Also, our 2% fund, it has become apparent that they changed the rules by the 2% fund. So we have to, and I may have said this at the last meeting, we have to rescind the money we put into the 2% fund and put it into a new 2% fund, which is defined somewhat differently. It's actually more leniently defined now. We can use it for basically educational purposes in very broad terms. And that is it for me. And that will be it for F&O also.
Thank you, Alex. Moving on to committee reports, Mary, Agri-Science.
We haven't met yet, and I think our first meeting is in October, and we'll be able to tell you more then.
Here. Curriculum and education.
So we had our meeting earlier tonight. I'm not going to go over really much of anything because under new business, we have summer curriculum work. So Mrs. Snow is going to sort of fill us in there. I don't want to steal any of your thunder.
Great, thank you. Joe, at Advance.
Nothing new to report. There was no August meeting.
Alex, Finance and Operations.
Nothing further to report.
Thank you, Alex. Greg, Labor Negotiations.
Haven't gotten any better at that. We approved the contract in our last meeting for the clerical and para educators union. We tonight approved the nurses union, and then the last one we have is the custodians, and that is going to arbitration.
Thank you. Strategic long range planning, that's me. Our meeting is until September 16th, so nothing to report. Moving on to old business.
Jen,
Uh,
Jen, before,
Yes.
excuse me, Jen. Nicole just pointed out that on my agenda, she's saying there's a longer list of personnel. I don't know why I don't have that. Nicole, can you read what I did not have on mine?
Sure, is that okay with everybody? Okay, so appointments. Bridget Alito Douglas, building substitute at Booth Free School and Burnham School starting September 16th through June 6th. Ryan Blatchley, agri-science substitute teacher at Chippewa Valley School. Seraphim Flaherty, who Lori did mention. Lindsay Harrison, the school nurse at Chippewa Valley School. Rebecca Kudstermans, long-term substitute teacher at Washington Primary School. Her assignment is for August 21st, to November 20th. Emily Lane is the building substitute at Washington Primary School. Tammy McInerney is the building substitute at Chippewa Valley School. Nadia Ostrowski is the JV girls soccer coach at Chippewa Valley. Douglas Ricci is the building substitute at Chippewa Valley School. Christina Richa is the library clerk at Chippewa Valley School. Rebecca Sater is the special education teacher at Chippewa Valley School. Billy Sedaris is an administrative assistant to the director of pupil personnel services. And Amy Taylor is an elementary teacher at Booth Free School. Those are all of the appointments. Resignations we received from Charles Raycroft, who was a paraprofessional at Chippewa Valley School, and also from Bridget Snyder, as Lori mentioned. And we have two transfers. Jackie Collantine is becoming the reading interventionist at Burnham School. She was formerly a teacher at Booth Free School. And Shannon Rupar is becoming a paraeducator at Chippewa Valley School, who was previously a literacy tutor at Burnham School.
Job. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole.
Okay, old business, consider for approval a second read of policy 111, admission and placement. Greg,
I move that we consider and we approve for a second reading policy 5111 admission placement.
second. Discussion? Do you have anything to say? As we know from the June 3rd meeting, from the first reading, that this is new legislation that changed children turning 5 years old on or before September 1st from January 1st. And I believe the other change was as a parent, a child, quote unquote, may withdraw from school at age 18 instead of the age of 17.
I think that's right.
Yeah. These are changes that the law allowed us to change the policy to bring us into compliance. So there's no discussion.
I was just gonna say, the other thing that this did was, we decided that we would allow children to come into the school who were born before,
So
after September 1, we would allow them to petition to come in and we could approve them on a.
and they can submit to the parents can submit a letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And then it gets approved by the administration.
It's a very practical solution.
Yeah.
It's been a nightmarish problem.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so,
We thank Lori and her staff.
sure. Thank you, Lori and staff. So we had a motion, second, all in favor? Anyone opposed? Abstained? Moving on. Okay. So we have next, new business summer curriculum work. We have Carrie Snowden. Come on and join us. I would think up at the front.
Okay. Does it sound okay? Okay. Hi, everybody. Good night. Good night. Have a good, geez. Good day. How are you? I am here tonight just for a few minutes to tell you a little bit about a lot of the amazing work that happened over the summer. Just have this one slide that sort of highlights some of the big stats that I think are pretty impressive. So we had 44 teachers work a total of 578 hours over the course of the summer. And it's actually still counting. There are a few still finishing some things up this week. And they did curriculum revision work in 9 different content areas, including agri-science, math, science, English, language arts, art, and social studies. So a lot of courses revised. We looked at the model curriculum the state has produced, which was written by experts, and we are definitely going to use the resource there. And just generally added, finished, brought in some recent assessments that had been done. A lot of revision work to really fill out more of the unit plans that were in Atlas. It's still a work in progress, and it's going to take a little bit of time to really get a handle on the hundreds and hundreds of courses that are in Atlas. So you will see some of that coming back up online on our district website as we sort of put the finishing touches on some things and have some initial department meetings and grade level meetings. In addition to that work, the content area work, we did it. There were a couple of other special projects. We had a 6th grade team come and meet for a day to plan a really excellent collaboration with Steep Rock. The 6th graders are going to visit Steep Rock and help the foundation develop a passport to trails, where they're going to create maps and information about different trails at Steep Rock. We had a math team come and talk and plan for middle school math intervention, and how, looked at some data, began some initial thoughts about students who might require math intervention, and began our discussions of how that's going to get launched in September. We had 12 teachers who are members of the Teaching and Learning Council came and met for a day in July with the admin team to begin our work on Vision of a Learner, which I know our strategic plan right now says Portrait of a Graduate, but we're transitioning that phrase into Vision of a Learner. And the teachers who came represented K through 12, many different departments, and helped collaborate with folks from Ed Advance on beginning the work for developing Vision of a Learner. So we'll have updates for the board on that soon. We had a team meet today this summer to talk more about the launch of the new K-5 literacy program, which is called ARC4. How are we going to fit together the different components of this program with our phonemic awareness program, Heggerty, and our phonics instruction? What kind of assessments that we currently give align with our new literacy program and which ones don't? So we had a lot of good, healthy conversation from the literacy leadership team that's been going through some reading training this past year, and will continue to do so. And we'll roll more of that professional learning out to the rest of the staff over the course of this coming year. And then finally, we started planning for our convocation and professional learning days coming up this week. We're very excited on Friday to be inviting Ron Berger from EL Education. He's going to give a keynote speech. He is the co-author of a book called Leaders of Their Own Learning, and the subtitle is Student Engaged Assessment. And so this is something that we're taking a look at. It will be good for kids to be owners of their own learning and to be engaged in the work that they're doing and the assessments that we are giving. So he's going to sort of kick off the work that will continue throughout the year. He'll give a keynote Friday morning, and then he'll do a workshop for Chippewa teachers in the morning, and then a workshop for elementary teachers in the afternoon. So we are grateful for that and excited for that. And that's my update. I'm happy to take any questions.
Just a comment, I am very impressed with the 44 teacher number. I think that may be a record and, it speaks directly to you and thank you very much.
Thank you. And that, you know, that's everybody. That's people who wrote curriculum, but also the folks on the Teaching and Learning Council who came for that one day and the folks on the literacy team. It represents everybody, but it is a pretty remarkable effort to get all those people to do some work over the summer to really help improve our district. So thank you so much. I really am appreciative of all the folks who were willing to give up some time this summer.
And thank you to you, Karen, for all of your hard work.
Thanks so much.
John O'Leary, you're up next. Summer facilities projects.
I'm here to give you some highlights about what happened during the summer. Put a kitchen dishwasher in the kitchen cafeteria here, help the staff to clean equipment that we will no longer throw away. We finished the septic line repairs in the mall. We entered a contract for the fire alarm lightning project. That's due to start shortly. It's in their attorney's hands at the moment, waiting for a signature. We got our door replacement project contracted and ordered, and we expect our doors to come in 9/11/24. We painted over the parking spaces for the students to start new this year. New scene. We put a new lift in our pool for the 88 people. Battery operated lift. We are migrating our building exterior lights to our BMS system. It's still ongoing. We've run many of the contactors and have just recently did the software portion of it. Soon we'll convert it over. We ran cabling for the door project, card readers, cameras, and 8 phones. That's ongoing as that was just a first step. Once our doors come in, we'll go ahead and put in the remaining portions. We added a heating coil to HB2 in the boys' locker rooms here, and I think they'll be very happy about that. I've been here 15 years, and whoever designed it put it in a condition where it never got warmer in the winter than about 62 degrees. So I think the boys will be happy about having a heating coil in their locker. The health department did their inspections, their annual inspections for our kitchens, our hoods, and our pool. Over at WPS, we added lighting in our library, LED lighting. Swapped out the old fluorescent lighting for LED lighting in our library. We did some knotweed removal. So we between our property and our neighbor's property, I don't know if you've seen it, but there was quite a bamboo forest growing between, and it's actually knotweed. It's very invasive. We did what we could to sift through that soil and find every piece, and we may not have found it all. It still keeps coming up. But at least we've got it to where we can manage it and we can cut it weekly. And no, that's what I understand. But we're gonna keep cutting it till the end of time. At least this way, it's not this tall. It's just this. We put up new split rail fences down there too. They look pretty good. We added a few additional parking spaces and we put in some asphalt between the parent drop off and the gym area where most of the kids walk in for safety reasons. We're preparing for nurse and music AC preparation. We're making preparations for the nurse and the music rooms to get ACs. We've run the power. We've ordered the panels for the windows. Right now, we're waiting on the air conditioners. We repaired a skylight over there for leaks. And this weekend gave us a good test and they'll be back to do a little more repair. We fiber mulched some swing sets behind WP that had never been fiber mulched. So now all the equipment behind WPS for the students to play on presently is safe and has mulch. Over at Burnham School, we repaired some drinking fountains and removed and replaced them. I'm sorry, we removed and replaced some drinking fountains. But we did some roof leak repair over there too. And we did some stage light repair. Over at Booth Free School, we put a new split system AC in the front office. Allison's very happy. I think I made a new bus. We have our main electric panel contracted and signed for its preparation. That equipment's on order. It's expected to go in next summer. Change out our 1950s electric. We did some modular roof leak repair. The modulars had some leaks, so we took care of that. District-wide, we had an HVAC study of all our schools' equipment. That was a state mandate. We're waiting on the report. We added window security film to every piece of glass 6 feet and under at all the elementaries. For safe. We've started room preparations for the armed security officers. So each of those rooms, we've found a room adjacent to what'll be the new vestibule in each of the elementary schools. That room will have a ballistics teller's window and some ballistic material on the inside of it, on the walls inside of it, around that window. We've had to run some power, some data, and we've bought some desks and we're going to install them now. It'll be mostly complete when they come, or we'll finish it up right. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was projected. We did all our fire alarm device testing and inspection. We prepared for our annual fire marshal reviews. We did our generator maintenance, our annual catch basin maintenance. Well, some of it's still ongoing. Our septic pumping and we maintained our equipment on the roofs and in our heating and cooling. We did many concrete stair repairs at the elementary schools. And we removed a couple of blackboards in each of the elementary schools. And the reason we removed a couple of them is because each of the schools was built in parts. Some as early as 1860s, some in 1927, some in the 30s. So we wanted a representative sample of each so we could identify the hazards so that next summer we could remove the remaining boards. Those are the highlights.
That's it?
I was asked just to talk about the highlights.
Well, I will just reiterate that when I was in the mall, the huge pile of dirt that was quickly put away the next day. It was pretty impressive. Doesn't even look like anything was going on over there.
Thanks. That went well, by the way. You know, we did have to cut in a little bit of more pipe, but we were able to do it without a lot more work.
Yeah, it looks great. Can't even tell.
Thanks. Well, hopefully, everything will work fine. We cameraed it, we tested it, and while you're all not looking, I'm going to go ahead and test the other two lines going out and see how well we can do and if we got any potential problems there.
It's great. Well done. Anybody have anything to ask or say to Don O'Leary?
I have a question about the state mandated HVAC study. What was the purpose? What are they really trying to demonstrate?
So for this part of it, and I think there's more to come, but for this part, the mandate is to identify, to review all of the existing equipment, identify any potential issues with it, document those, and then report on those at a board meeting, public. So a third party had to review each of the pieces of equipment. So we had to bring all the prints, review all the locations, show them where everything was, manipulate the equipment to run it at certain intervals so that they could test it at certain intervals. They made sure that that air you hear back there, the rooftop unit is capable of a certain amount, putting out a certain amount. So they tested each one of the distribution points to identify if it's running at its capacity. And if it's not, what are its problems or what they've identified as problems. It's all in an effort to improve indoor air quality in the school. That's the ultimate goal. Oh, okay.
Anything else? Thanks, Don. Appreciate it.
You. Appreciate it.
Wow. You want me to say it again, Ben? Adjourn?